Hello, it's Jess here from AESME Studio. We've had a really busy month and true to form I've been struck down with a summer cold. So you will get to listen to my very sexy voice over this video. So I recorded a little tour of the cutting garden back in April, and I just wanted to give you a little update on how things have changed. It's now the end of June in the garden, and it's been looking so full and flowery and beautiful. So last week I grabbed my camera and I just filmed a little quick walk around to show you how it's looking. So just starting in the shelter, this is this kind of little wooden structure where we condition all of the flowers after we've cut them in the garden. There's some lettuce and some herbs for my supper and some sweet peas for my home. That's me, hello. So that's a converted shipping container that we kind of use as a little garden studio. And just round the corner here through the gate is the top garden, which is sort of vegetable garden. And there's lots of rambling roses in there as well. And some catmint you can see there in the background, and those cardoons which are growing really tall and beefy in the background. As you can imagine, the air is sort of filled with incredible scents at this time of year from all the roses. And the bees are extremely happy. Then round the corner we come under this tree and we come to the first of the larger tunnels on the left here. So in this tunnel we grow lots of annuals, lots of vines up these kind of grid metal fences which are in the two middle beds. So you can see lots of flowering sweet peas. Those are some self-sown delphiniums from a crop from the previous year, and these beautiful golden peas. Some more lovely delphiniums. All the kind of poppies and the delphiniums that you see in these beds, as I said, they're all self-sown. I'm getting a lot more relaxed about leaving things that have sort of found a home and seem to be very happy, and we get extra flowers in the process, which is great. So earlier in the year, these beds had narcissus in them, and there were lots of anemones flowering, and now these have kind of all died back. The bulbs are still in the beds, but they've died back. And now we have things like nasturtiums and some sunflowers, some cali poppies. Around here we've got some helichrysum seedlings, and there's some snapdragons just further down on the right. So all of these poppy heads, again, I'll just leave to either let the seeds sort of scatter around for new poppies next year, or we'll cut them and we'll use them in arrangements because they're also very beautiful. And these sweet pea vines, they've been flowering now for around about 6 weeks, I'd say, and they tend to get quite hot in the tunnel, a little bit dry, and so I tend to plant another batch which comes up a little bit later. So there you can see them on the other side, and there's some beautiful delphinium there in the background. Okay, so out of this tunnel and round the corner to the next tunnel. This looks slightly greener, not as flowery as the other one, because this will be coming into flower in the next few weeks. There's some annuals there on the right, chrysanthemums and dahlias in the middle, and sort of a sprinkling of things like marigolds and zinnias and things like that, and also some cosmos. And then down to the kind of main part of the garden, these are the perennial beds, lots of shrubs and different perennials. We have our rose beds over here. So the roses have just had their first kind of full flush. They were incredibly beautiful this year, and we've just deadheaded them really thoroughly. And as you can see, more flowers have come out, and now we'll give them a really, really good kind of organic feed, just to give them a bit more strength for the rest of the season. So I've been kind of building these perennial beds up for the last few years. I am self-taught, so I'm kind of learning all the time. And firstly, I want to kind of see what likes growing here. So we're on chalk. It can get quite dry in the summer, and also the site is quite exposed. So I need to be able to grow plants that can kind of tough it out in that situation. And also we like to see what we like arranging with, and what works for us in arrangements. So sometimes it's a bit of a trial and error, but I'm getting a bit more confident now with kind of building up the beds, putting in lots of bulbs and also some kind of annuals and biennials that are sort of scattered in amongst the perennials, and just learning what not likes to kind of grow amongst the different perennials. So that's been really fun. The golden oats grass blowing in the wind, very beautiful. This is giant scabious. It's pale yellow. We actually just used that for an installation last weekend, so it was really beautiful against a sort of pale blue backdrop. It's very effective. And yeah, this is kind of the back of the garden. Walking back up, lots of beautiful pale blue geranium in there, and everything just looking very flowery and full. Here's Al's favourite, it's gooseberries. We've got a couple of sort of random gooseberry bushes that are in a slightly random place, but I'm thinking of actually growing more fruit up in the vegetable garden and putting in some little fruit bushes. So I'd love to hear if any of you have had any success in growing fruit and what your tips might be, because I don't really know very much about it. But I'm thinking some gooseberries and some more currants would be really nice. So yeah, that's the end of my little garden tour. Looking very different to how it was a couple of months ago. So have a look back on the April vlog and you can see how the garden looks in springtime. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon, hopefully when I've got over this cold.